And today we're going to be jumping into some actual scenarios around mortgages, real life scenarios that you guys helped some clients solve.
One of the fair deals that I've done so far, it was in London. It was a very complicated parcel purchase where the borrowers had negotiated a great deal with a seller. The seller had plans to kind of, I think it was he wanted to demolish and kind of build one big medical office, but didn't plan out. He was kind of hemorrhaging money, so he sold the properties off at a pretty great price. In the parcel, they actually picked up 2 semi-detached fourplexes, a duplex, another duplex, and a triplex. And there was actually another duplex, but they were able to wholesale that one right away. Now, they wanted to keep each of the individual properties without merging the titles, and they were all on basically like a corner lot, and the lots all were touching. So if you understand property zoning and stuff, the lots are touching, and you have the same owner, it all merges into one title. So they had to purchase each individual property in a different name. So they used a couple holding companies and then a personal name. They were going to gut each individual unit, rebuild the entire thing, go from there, rent it out, make sure that it was going to cash flow again in the end. So the complicated part with that is you can't take a building to like a AAA lender and say, I'm going to gut the entire thing. They're probably not going to be a huge fan of you getting that done. So needed to close relatively quickly as well. Their previous financing that they were looking at had kind of fallen through. So they came to me. We were able to go to one of our private lenders that we work with pretty often, and he can be pretty flexible for us. So all in all, we had, I think it was close to 8 properties on the commitment because we had collateralized 3 additional properties, and we were able to keep the total loan to value at, I think it was like 80 or 81% cost. So kept some money in the pocket for the borrowers as well too. Did one giant blanket loan over each individual property. So we utilized, like I said, there was 3 additional properties that had minimal equity available, so we had to use a couple others. Got the loan done, got it done for a 6 months open term, so it was open to 1.5 months interest, so mitigated the amount of cost to exit out on the back end. The borrowers were able to get in there, got 98% of the units. I think there was a couple tenants that weren't leaving. Got it all done in 6 months. We then took that file to a credit union and were able to individually refinance each property because of that unique ownership structure, and get it done all in the holding companies as well too. So utilizing that private financing was able to keep their acquisition costs down, where maybe some lenders, if you're going to be telling them you're going to be gutting it, maybe they're at 70%, maybe they're 65%, maybe they're 75%, depends on the lender, but keeping that at 80%, allowing them to just put the 20% down, and allowing them to be able to gut each individual building, then having a strong takeout with that small commercial, to be able to refinance each one of those personally on the A side probably wasn't going to happen. The cash flow was super strong on all of them. On the small commercial side, we actually got 80% loan to value on 2 of the properties. We got like 78% loan to value on the one property, and then they were going to flip the one property afterwards, but we ended up getting about 75% loan to value. So all in all, they walked away with close to about like $1 million in equity takeout on that project, which is a huge equity takeout, a huge profit to be able to be made. But they're again just a really strong situation for an independent private lender. This wasn't a MIC either. If you took something like this to a mortgage investment company, they're probably going to be 65% loan to value. So having a hard money guy who understands, has been around, can utilize collateral properties, It was a complicated deal to get it done. Took a little bit to get done, but it was a huge success for the guys, and they walked away with a pretty decent chunk of change in the end. So,
yeah, I love creative finance.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun deal.